Welcome to this tutorial on how to use Adobe Spark to create epic social media posts in a flash. My name is Phil Ebner and I run a couple brands online, and I'm always creating social media graphics or just graphics in general. And Adobe Spark is by far one of the best and easiest ways to create eye-catching graphics. It's free to use to create posts from scratch using their web browser application, or they have downloadable apps for your device that help you to create these graphics on the go. And if you have a Creative Cloud account, you have access to premium features such as free images, icons. You can share with your team members. You can create a brand. So you upload your logos, your colors, your fonts, so that it's all brand based. Super easy to use. So in this tutorial, though, we're just going to be creating a social media graphic. You can use it to create web pages, even video stories, all kinds of stuff. But let's go ahead and get started. When you log in on your home page, you'll have a menu on the left-hand side that allow you to get quick access to your projects, your brand information, or just to browse templates. In the middle, you can see that there are buttons that you can click to start a project for any type of graphic or video, logo, whatever you're doing. And the cool thing about Adobe Spark is that it's going to be the right aspect ratio for that social platform. So if you're creating an Instagram story, you click this button, it's going to create a project with the right aspect ratio, the right dimensions, and you don't have to worry about that at all. Down below, you have your recent projects that you've been working on. You can also just scroll down and see more templates. Up at the top left, back here, you have a big Create a Project button that just allows you to create a new project from scratch. Or at the top, you can search for specific types of posts. You can just type in Facebook, for example, and you can see all the different types of templates: Facebook ad, business, covers. And by clicking one of those search results, it will open up a project and bring up templates related to that search result. So in this tutorial, I want to show you how to use Spark by just creating a typical social graphic. Instagram post is a great template to use because it's a square template. So by clicking one of those projects, you can see that it opens up a square sort of canvas that we're going to be working on. On the right-hand side, you have templates, and then you have all of your editing options on the far right. On the top, you have your different just kind of file options. So you can name this file. So we're going to call this, let's just call this social square. You can call it whatever you want, but this is something that I can reuse multiple times. I can open it up next time and create a brand new version. And I know that this is a square graphic that I use. You have your undo redo buttons. You can share it with people, download it. You could directly share it to your social platforms with this button up here. But first, we need to get started. So I'm going to practice by creating a graphic for a photo contest that we're having. Every month, we have a contest in my Photography and Friends Facebook group, which is for all of my photo students. Now we have like 40,000 members in there. It's pretty epic. So as I scroll here, you can see that there are all kinds of templates, and you can even search for specific things. For example, I could search for camera or photography, and it will bring up templates related to that keyword. But I like to just search through here and see if there's something that I want to get started with. It's a good starting point for me. Some people use it as just, hey, I'm going to use this exact post and then swap out the text for whatever is related to my brand or my social account. But I like to change it up a little bit, especially changing the colors so they're on brand and using things like images that are more aligned with what I do. Now, this is a pretty cool one to start out with. So if I click one of these templates, I can just click the Create button, and it's going to add the content of that template to my canvas here. And then from there, we can start editing it. So this template is made up of several layers, and it's text, it's icons, it's a photo in the background. And as I click these different elements, you can see that we have an editor over on the right-hand side that pops up. And if you are used to using pretty much any other kind of editing application, graphic designer, a lot of this will be similar. Even if you've used Microsoft Word, you'll see you've got, when you click the text, you've got your font choices, you've got your alignment, the size, letter spacing. A lot of this is a little bit simplified or dumbed down. Not dumbed down, that's not the right way to put it, but it's simplified to make it easy for you. So this is not going to have every single option that you have in Photoshop, for example, to create graphic designs, but it's pretty much all you need to create great graphics on the go or in the browser. So to edit text, you can just double click and it opens up this kind of white screen, and this is where you change the text. So I'm just going to call this photo, done, and then contest. And you can see that I'm typing out in lowercase, and that's just because the font choice and style of it is all caps, and I'm fine with that. I'm going to move this over here, and you can see by clicking this icon, I can now grab this. By grabbing any of the corners, you could make it bigger or smaller. We can click it and move it around. Let's see, we can also replace it. So if we want to find something that's like a camera, so if you click it, it automatically brings up the search term that's related to that icon. I'm going to type in camera. And these are features that are only available for the premium account. Like I said, if you have an Adobe Creative Cloud account, though, you get this. So it's like, why not use it, right? So clicking on the camera icon, now we have that. So let's align this text back up. You can see that as we move around the text, there are these lines and guides that pop up that help us align the different elements to the different parts of the screen. Now, you can also use your up-down arrow keys on your keyboard. Since there are so many elements, it kind of gets a little bit, it was getting a little wonky there. But let's start here. We're going to change this to landscape. And you can see here now it is lowercase. So we're going to capitalize this by clicking this capitalize button. You can change the size over here with these sliders, or you can just grab the corners and make it bigger or smaller. We're going to change the date. We're going to say February 1st through 29th because it's a leap year. All right. So I would probably move this stuff around just a little bit, make sure it's all aligned, but you get the point. You can add text, you can do all that kind of stuff. So there are a couple elements here that are like invisible elements. I'm not sure what those are, but I'm just deleting those so I don't have to deal with them, so that I can get to the background. So this background image isn't bad necessarily, but to replace a background image in a template, just click that image, click replace, and now you again have this search bar. You can search for photography, for example, or whatever it is. I'm going to try to find one that encompasses both photography and landscape photography. Again, these photos are available in the premium plan. Otherwise, you can still use Adobe Spark, but you're going to be using your own images. So let's just pick this one for now. Once you have an image, it's a little bit, you got to get used to how you move things around. You can't just like click it and move it to the left or right because it's locked in this template. But you can click this move freely option, and this does allow you to basically move the image wherever you want it. So I'm going to move it like this. There's also other ways you can do this. With all these apps, there's so many different ways to do these things. But you can also, instead of moving freely, if it is part of the background, you can scale it. And then from scaling it, you can move it to the right or left, which is pretty good. Now, I like this photo. I like the layout, but the photo and the text is a little bright. So there's a couple different things we can do. We can either take our text and change the color, and that might be a good option to make it more on brand. So by clicking your text, and then we click this color option over on the right hand side. So whenever you click an element, there are going to be the different options for editing that element. With the image here, we have the placement, we also have filters, and then we have color fill if you want to just add a color to the background instead. Same with text. We have the type options like the text style, you have your color, and then also some other options like shape, adding a shape to it, effects, styles, that kind of thing. So for color, if I click color, you'll see that I have my brand colors up here already, photography and friends. And now I set these colors, and it also gives some suggestions. So I can take this text here, set some of it to that main kind of blue purple that we use, and then also use some of the suggestions as well. So maybe we have that lighter purple. For the icon, we can also change the color of the icon. And this is where your graphic design skills come in handy, because you want it to all kind of feel cohesive. Yeah, maybe just leave it like that. This one, we want to change our color. Here we have two colors. So we have the text color and then the border color. And this text has that shape to it already. So if we click the shape button, we can see if we scroll down which one it is using. Or we can change it. Say we want it to be like that. So now it looks like this, but let's change those colors. So let's make the background, we want to shuffle it. So we clicked one of these and then just click shuffle, and it kind of swaps it. So that makes that really easy to see. There are these elements that I keep clicking. It's just part of this template, and you might find that on different templates, but to me it seems like those were kind of invisible. Not sure what those were. And then lastly, the color for this one, let's make that black. All right, so that's one way to make it stand out. The other way would be to add a filter to our background. So you can also just add a filter to add style. But by clicking the photo and then clicking filters, you have these basic filters here. Darken is one that might work well if you have light text, or lighten is a better option if you have darker text. Now, our photo actually looks pretty good like this, and we made the text dark because the background was bright. But before, when the text was white, you might have just gone in here and simply clicked darken. You also have options to adjust the contrast, brightness, saturation, all those specific elements of your photo here under the Enhance Photo drop-down menu. This is, you're doing this browser-based. It's not going to be as high quality as editing a raw image in Lightroom, but you get your basics here. So, dropping the saturation, that's going to be really good. But playing with the highlights and the shadows isn't going to be like editing a raw photo, like I said, but you can do basic things to get a cool style. And then lastly, you have your color fill down here. Say you want to just get rid of that. Like I mentioned before, you can do that. To undo anything, just click the undo button at the top, or the redo to redo. Say you have multiple elements that you need to or want to change the size of or the positioning of, you can select multiple by selecting one and then shift clicking the other ones. So I'm just going to go through all of these. And now we can move them around, we can make them bigger, because I do think this text needs to be bigger. You always have to remember when you're creating graphics for social media that a lot of people are going to be watching this on, or viewing it on mobile and or in a browser, and it's going to be on social media on a super small screen, and they're going to be scrolling through it. So you want to make sure that all of this is very visible on a small device. So see how I'm just moving this stuff around. Now, say you want a completely new element, because right now we just edited the elements that were in the template. You can just click this add button up here. So from here, you can add your text, your photo, an icon, or a logo. So again, a premium option, but here I've uploaded our Photography and Friends logo. So we can just click that and it adds it up there in the top right corner. I'm going to put it down in the center of our page. And you can see the alignment. If you get that pink dotted line, that means you're centered. And that looks pretty good. Dropping the opacity can look good depending on what the graphic is. If I was using a darker image, I might drop that opacity a little bit too. So everything's staying on point, staying on brand, which is good. So say you're happy with this. What do we do with this now? Well, the first thing is probably you want to either download it to your device that you're editing on or share it directly with your social accounts. If you want to download it, just click the download button up here. You can choose JPEG or PNG. Both are great. JPEGs are smaller file size. For posting online, I would just go with JPEG. Click download. And once it's ready to download, you can download it. Landscape photo contest. Save. If you want to share this post directly from Adobe Spark to a social account, you can click share, publish, and then you can copy this link to share it or click one of these buttons up here to link this directly to a Facebook account or a Twitter account. As you can see there, you've got your email options as well. But just to clarify, this is going to be sharing it from your Spark account. It's not going to be like sharing it directly from your social media account. So you do want to download it if you are going to be sharing it to uploading it from a different account. Say you want to change this and you want to post this on Instagram to your feed, but also to a story. What you can do is click Resize and click the size you want, Instagram story, for example. And it's going to try to automatically resize everything for that aspect ratio. As you can see, some things got a little bit wonky, but it's a pretty quick thing to change this around. And you probably want to do this custom anyways, because you don't know for the different platforms, you might want things to be in different places or different sizes or that kind of thing. Like this photo, for example, it actually turns out pretty good there. Maybe we don't need our logo for the Instagram story, that kind of thing. You might want to add other elements too as well. But that's just a quick way to resize to a different layout. All right, we want to make sure that we save this. I'm back on the square version. I just undid all that. I want to save this as our landscape photo graphic. And then just by clicking back on the home button, it's going to make sure it saves that post and gets us back to our home page. You can see that this is now in our home project. So if you want to go back and edit it, or if you want to change it for your next contest or your next graphic, you can easily do that. Now, I just wanted to show you these other tabs. We didn't see them before. Under projects, you have projects you've worked on, projects shared with you, recent, so you can sort in different ways. Under brand, here is how you upload your brand content. If I click create brand, you can see the process. So you have your upload, your logo, you have your color, and then your font. So it's pretty much as simple as that. If I go back to my different brands, you can see what I've chosen. Now, the logo itself, right here, the main one is white, so you don't see that. But you can see the teal option down there, so you can actually upload multiple logos, which is kind of cool. They kind of create a logo for you as well, based off of what you type up here for the logo name. Your colors, you can add multiple colors, or it will give you a preset set of colors based off the main color you added. And then your fonts, you can choose different fonts for your heading, body, and it does have a very limited number of fonts that are already online. Here you can see, but you can also add fonts from your computer if you have those font files. Now, one last thing before I let you go, and that's what if you have a specific size or dimensions that you want to create a graphic for. You can do that. Just click the create a project button, click custom size graphic, and here you can choose any kind of size you want. Say you have something that's 1,000 wide by, 200 tall. You want like a banner or something for your email or something. here you go. You've got that to start working with. Now, if you click a template from here, it's going to change it to this template. So don't do that. You can't it's not, if you click this, it's not going to add these elements to this banner because it's not a size that they've built for these templates. You'll just have to start designing from scratch adding your different elements. So that's as far as I want to take you in this tutorial. There are lots of other features and little intricacies here and there, but it's pretty easy to use. That's what's good about it is, just clicking on the different options, you can quickly see what the different things do. And like I said, you can do this on your desktop, your mobile device by doing it in the browser, like the web browser, or in the Adobe Spark apps. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helps you out, and I'll also include a link to Adobe Spark page and to the Creative Cloud to get signed up if you're interested in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.